You won't believe what this guy's mom did when he simply went to bed early. We're talking about a 24-year-old man, a grown adult, with his own apartment, who made the absolutely radical decision to get a good night's sleep before his early morning shift. And somehow, that choice turned into a midnight family crisis. Let's get into it. So this story comes from Reddit's AmItheAsshole community, the place where people bring their most frustrating real-life situations and let the internet decide who's in the wrong. And this one? Oh, this one hit a nerve. Over 3,900 upvotes. Our narrator is a 24-year-old guy who just moved into his own place less than 2 weeks ago. Before that, he was crashing with his older sister while they both worked in the capital city. His parents live about 3 hours away in a small town. And by his own description, they have a very close family relationship, which sounds sweet until you learn what that actually means in practice. Here's the part that sets the whole stage. His mom is overbearing. And not just in the typical she worries about her kids kind of way. We're talking about a woman who has literally said out loud that she cannot relax, until her adult children personally confirm they've made it home safely. Every single
time they go out.
He says he's told her multiple times that this isn't normal. And her response? Essentially, this is just who I am. I've been this way for 30 years, deal with it. And the dad? Oh, the dad just backs her up. Says it's completely normal for a mother to feel that way. Our guy disagrees. He thinks she's flat out overprotective. And honestly, after what happens next, it's a little hard to argue with him. So here's what actually went down. He had an early morning ahead of him. 5:30 a.m. wake up for work. Wanting to actually function like a human being the next day, he decided to go to bed early. Around 9:30 p.m. Completely reasonable. Here's the thing though, he's a light sleeper. Always has been. So, he does what any sensible light sleeper does. He turns on Do Not Disturb. No notifications, no buzzing, no random pings waking him up at odd hours. Just sleep. Now pause for a second. This is a 24-year-old man, in his own home, making a completely logical choice about his own sleep. Nothing about this should be a problem. But then, 11:30 p.m., knock at the door. It's his sister. At almost midnight, standing at his apartment. Because their mom, who couldn't reach him by phone and noticed her messages weren't going through, had completely spiraled. We're talking full panic mode. Convinced something terrible had happened to her son. Immediately jumping to worst-case scenarios. And so mom called the sister. And the sister, apparently feeling like she had no other choice, got in an Uber and rode over to physically check on her fully grown, completely fine, peacefully sleeping brother. Now here's where it gets really frustrating for him. He wakes up to this. He opens his door. He's obviously okay. And instead of everyone taking a breath and going, "Oh thank goodness, false alarm, good night," he gets berated. By his sister, by his dad, and by his mom, who apparently threw in a few curse words for good measure. Let that sink in. The mom, who was supposedly worried sick about her son's safety, turned around and cursed at him for sleeping. And then, and this is the part that really twists the knife, his mom had the audacity to say that now she's worried about his sister too, because the sister had to take an Uber home at midnight. An Uber that the mom's panic attack caused in the first place. He wraps it all up by saying his sister just left, and he can't shake the feeling that this entire situation could have been avoided if his parents just had a little bit of common sense. And then he added an edit to clarify something I thought was interesting. Apparently, a lot of people in the comments assumed he was a girl. He says his mom's overprotectiveness isn't about his gender, but he just thinks being the youngest might play into it a little. Okay, let's talk about this. Because on one hand, I do get that anxiety is real. Some parents genuinely struggle with letting go, and that fear of something happening to their kids doesn't just evaporate when those kids turn 18. That's a real thing. But here's the line. Your anxiety does not get to become your adult child's responsibility to manage. At 24 years old, this guy has every right to turn his phone off,